Hey, what's up, everybody? I know it's been like 3 weeks, maybe closer to 4 weeks, since I made my last video, so I do apologize. Um, it wasn't like an intentional break or anything like that, but I've been a little busy and also had been investing probably more time than I should into doing some cash offers, just so that way I can feel a little more secure in terms of being able to pay rent and be able to, purchase nicotine. But I mean, I'm not making excuses, but at the same time, it's not like, I made any promises that I would be making videos, weekly or daily. Although I have stated that that is a potential intention. But yeah, I just figured, kind of in the video making mood. So I want to do this video is going to be kind of just a recap on how the last 3 to 4 weeks have been, but then I might also make a second video tonight after I eat dinner. I've been getting a lot of comments, at least a handful of comments on some of my videos talking about kind of how my recovery from the nerve damage from the nitrous oxide abuse, kind of how that did I do anything, or how long did it take? I mean, I've replied to those comments, but I just want to just do another video, I guess, just so I can kind of really detail it. Plus that way it'll be more current or recent, I should say. So yeah, hopefully all of you guys have been doing great. I've been doing really well. Let's see, I don't even know where to start. Well, first things first, I did pass my certified peer counselor class. So now I have that under my belt. And I did take another module of the recovery coach classes at the Recovery Cafe. This one was professionalism. I think I stated in one of my last videos that I was going to be doing a volunteer recovery coach type of position, and that has come to fruition as well. I'll go into that in just a little bit, but I just kind of want to lay out some bullet points as to what's been happening, and then I'll probably elaborate on some of it. Well, I will elaborate, not probably. Let's see, we did get a new housemate like 2 weeks ago, who I shouldn't laugh. I mean, but it's just kind of ridiculous, the situation, because he ended up blowing up on a few of us over like just small things, and said we were toxic. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. So he moved in a few weeks ago. Within like the first 24 hours of moving in, he went out and used, which, like, I totally understand. I've been there, done that. And honestly, like, for me too, I can relate. He kind of already made that decision to relapse when he went back out to kind of his old stomping grounds. Apparently he needed to return the keys to his apartment, but then while down there, ended up using, which again, like, I guess for me, I can relate because earlier this year, back in February, where I was doing the recovery coach class, and to be there in person, the bus didn't run early enough on Sunday, which was one of the days from my Oxford house that I was staying in, but I still had the apartment. So I spent, I was just like, all right, well, I'll stay over at my apartment a few nights, because I'd gotten past the 30-day blackout period, and residents, or members, I should say, were able to spend up to 3 nights out of the Oxford house. So I did that because, I told myself, and it's true, but, definitely, I wouldn't say a lie, but more reasons to do it, other than, I guess, what I told myself, my addiction told myself, was hey, at least from there, we can wake up and we can catch a bus to the cafe, where I could have asked one of the housemates and see if they could have, or even just woke up early enough to walk it. But, like I said, my addiction, misled me. And I was kind of conscious of it anyways. Cause I still, like, I'll admit, I still wanted to drink. I mean, I still have cravings. I mean, that's probably never going to go away. But, so I spent the night there, well, 2 nights, and then I ended up drinking, and that's what led to me having a positive UA for the mental health court and getting kicked out of the Oxford House, which, kind of progressed things to being kicked out of the mental health program. But I won't go too in depth. But I knew, like, so I guess what I'm saying is, like, when I went to go to my apartment to spend the night, I had already made that decision to relapse. It was just a matter of time before, I eventually did procure some beer and then consume it. So I understand, but at the same time, it's just like, that's a really short time frame to just get out of treatment, get into a sober living house, and then to go out and use. But no, I'm not judging him. I'm just saying, so we did have a house vote to let him stay. And it was really 50-50 for pretty much all of us, myself included, because that's what's nice about this house is it's unlike Oxford, an Oxford house where if you relapse, you get kicked out. You have 15 minutes to grab your stuff as much as you can, leave, and then you can come back, in a few days or I think you have up to like 30 days to get the rest of your stuff. But here, it doesn't quite work that way. So he did get another chance, but he was just, I guess, kind of, to briefly explain him blowing up, there was some food and some beverages. He did confirm that he had taken a few of my beverages from the fridge. He stated that he wasn't oriented well enough, and he thought it was the house supply, which I think is kind of BS. But then someone's leftover pizza went missing, and he denied that. But he had gotten a talking to from the housing manager, and apparently that's when he decided that we were toxic people, and just we suck, and he didn't want to live with us. So he left last night. The blowing up on people transpired, I think, on Thursday or Friday. So he did have a little bit of time to, it didn't seem like he really used it to look into other options, but he, maybe he just went back to that apartment. But either way, he stayed here and then finally left. Fortunately, there weren't really any conflicts or altercations after he had, blown up and decided he didn't want to live here. So that's kind of already a lot in of itself. I'm sure we'll be getting another housemate sooner rather than later. So yeah, as far as the recovery coach thing is going, I think I explained, I feel like I explained, but my understanding, or what was said to me, is it's kind of like a volunteer position, and I am doing it on Zoom because the organization is several hours from where I live. But, they do have that option as long as the recoveries are okay with it to do it over Zoom. But I do get paid a stipend. I get paid $20 for every 60-minute session. So it's like, it's paid, but I'm not officially an employee, if that makes sense. So I was set to meet with, I was assigned a recovery early last week. We set it up to meet on Wednesday. Apparently he had some technical issues, and then I have not heard from him after trying to reach out to reschedule. I'm not going to make any assumptions as to, what's going on, but It's possible that he's an individual that is in early recovery. And, at least for me, when I kept trying, like in my early recovery, pretty much up until I moved into this house. So, like, about a year actively working on recovery, I'd relapse and I'd fall off the face of the earth. Like I was going to the recovery cafe occasionally, but then, I'd relapse, or just not even necessarily with substance use, but just relapse to old behaviors and socially isolate. So I know how that goes. Hopefully I do hear back from him and we can set that up. But if not, I totally understand. My feelings aren't hurt. But because of that, I was assigned a second recovery, and I successfully met with him yesterday. So it's great. I'm really stoked that I'm finally kind of putting what I've learned into practice. Granted, right now that's not going to pay the bills, but fortunately the rent in this sober living house is very cheap. And I am very, very fortunate. I'm very grateful to be able to receive food stamps. So, at least in the time being, so that kind of takes away a little bit of that stress. And I do, my aim is to be assigned to more recoveries, not just like one or two. I don't know how many, like, the organization allows, or how many I would truly be comfortable with, but I would say probably at least 4 would be ideal, especially because, like I was saying, sometimes people just kind of fall off the face of the earth for a bit. But either way, yeah, it was great meeting him. I'm really glad to be working with him. I'm just very grateful for the position. So that's awesome. As far as kind of my well-being has been and like self-care, I've been doing pretty well in terms of pretty good self-care. I don't eat super healthily, and actually I snack on quite a bit of junk food, or like, eat a whole pizza, but as long as I stay physically active, I'm very grateful for that too, that that's usually about enough for me to not gain a bunch of weight. I haven't weighed myself in a while, but a few weeks back I was like down to 193, 194, which was almost 30-pound weight loss since I moved in here on April 1st. So yeah, I probably should weigh myself, but I don't care so much about the weight. I just want the appearance, and ultimately I am working out for my mental health and for my to help me with my success in recovery. For me, that's a really great coping skill, and it's just a nice hobby to do. And of course, being in better health is always appreciated. Last week I wasn't able to work out for a handful of the days. We got some more smoke here, and it was high enough to where my asthma was flaring up, and I wasn't able to go out to the shed and work out. So but that's been cleared. So I worked out today, worked out on Sunday, and those have been going well. So it's like I feel really good, sleeping decently. At least I'm getting nutrition, taking like a multivitamin, vitamin D, fish oil, because that also is just really beneficial to my overall well-being. So that's going well. Yeah, things are calm at the house though. They've been great, other than kind of what has transpired over the past few weeks. So yeah, I'm just trying to think of anything else. I feel like there's something else, but no, I really can't. I really can't think of anything else. So, yeah, like I said, what I'm planning on doing is get this video uploading, eat, and then do another video talking about, hopefully a bit more coherent and linear thought process, or a retelling of my experience with, going from pretty bad nerve damage to the point where I couldn't walk, let alone stand up. I had to crawl around my apartment just to get from the bed to the bathroom, and that was a fiasco in of itself. And then being all the way to where I can bike, I can run, I can jump. I'm very, very fortunate. I'm very grateful that I was able to recuperate from that, and not just the physical disability, mentally as well. Because as I've talked about in some of my other videos, I mean, I became very manic, and that progressed to quite psychotic and paranoid. So the fact that I was able to come back down to reality and have my memory and just cognition mostly intact, is ridiculous. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So that's why I kind of want to make a video. I don't really have any tips, but I do want to kind of just talk about my experiences. So maybe that might help some people and answer some questions in advance. I am planning on doing getting back into video making more consistently. I do want to start streaming again, especially since I have this new gaming, well, I shouldn't say gaming computer, but this new computer that's a lot better than the micro PC I've been using. And again, that's thanks to my wonderful parents, who I love to death. So thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.